Chaos. A single word describes the experience of the MGM Casinos ransomware attack that happened by September 2023. But do we know the full story here? Hacker group known as Spider, with the help of BlackCat's ransomware, has seized in a cyber heist the personal information of thousands of customers, costing the casino giant $100 million in damages. All in the while, it left the casino resorts in a blackout for 10 days. This is a story where the line between truth and fiction blurs between different parties, including the hacker groups themselves. And today we explore such story, the story of the billion-dollar casino cyber heist against MGM and other Las Vegas casinos. So let's introduce the key players in this story. MGM Resorts International, a company that's worth over $12 billion today. They operate not just in Las Vegas, but also in Massachusetts, Michigan, Mississippi, Maryland, Ohio, and New Jersey. Originally, their main product are casinos, but they don't just operate casinos. They also operate hotels, entertainment, and other sorts of resorts, but they generate the most income from casinos precisely. So as expected, these casinos have to make it very clear that the house always wins. Everything has to be on point for the casinos to make a profit from all these gambling addicts, and that means that security has to be top notch. There can be no cheaters in the casino, and you can easily say that the cheaters there get severely punished. Might as well bring in a cheater to room 401, saw his fingers mafia style, and call it a day. But you get my point. By every casino and establishment, it is surely guaranteed that nobody can access to the slot machine servers, so they can avoid anyone making them a loss by hacking the slot machines and stealing the money. It is also pretty much guaranteed that a place like in Las Vegas, they have to handle a lot of customer personal data, and it has to be secure too. Remember what happened with the AshleyMadison.com? That can happen here. If by any means a hacker lets your family know you're being spending in secret thousands of hard-earned dollars in gambling, especially if you're a terminal gambling addict, you might get in serious trouble, including not just heated arguments, but maybe even divorce, obviously. I can testify as a former gambling addict that it could happen to you too. So, all in all, cybersecurity has to be top-notch. And this is where we introduce the second player in this story, OCTA Incorporated, formerly known as Sasher Incorporated, a company based in San Francisco, California. Not only OCTA has worked on with MGM Resorts to tighten their cybersecurity, but also with plenty of other clients, especially enterprise businesses, including most notably Nordstrom and the US Department of Justice. Although it's kind of far from perfect because OCTA had cybersecurity attacks happen to them before. In 2021, they had a hacker group hack into the security cameras through a security failure. In March 2022, they had screenshots from OCTA's internal systems leaked by another hacker group. And in December 2022, another hacker stole OCTA's source code from the cybersecurity software. But okay, for now, let's treat them like nothing like this happened and like they're a reputable cybersecurity company. For now, nothing can go possibly wrong, right? This is, however, where the third and final player get in, the hackers. More precisely, a hacker group known as Spider. They're 20-year-olds hailing from Europe and the US. Their English is pretty fluent, and these are not just your average Russian skip kiddies. They specialize very much in social engineering, which help a lot in this case. The ransomware weapon of choice was made by ALPHV, or BlackCat, which is a ransomware as a service operation. Spider claimed to be very good at phishing, which is conveniently the combination of voice phishing. They impersonate someone's voice on a phone line to social engineer their way into anything as a server may use. You might be familiar with this because of some hackers who can use phishing to impersonate, say, a YouTuber's voice and personal information to hack into their phone line and trick their SMS messages to bypass their two-factor authentication. So these guys knew what they were doing. And with all three players identified, this is what happened with the MGM cyber heist. Around September 11, 2023, someone tried to call into MGM's IT help desk at OCTA, claiming to be an MGM privileged employee asking for recovering their credentials on MGM's OCTA servers. The conversation went on so far to convince the IT servers at OCTA to reset all multi-factor authentication factors set by highly privileged users. So the OCTA IT help desk conceded and just did that. Except one slight issue. That MGM employee wasn't from MGM at all. In fact, Scatter Spider used deepfake voice AI technology to impersonate said employee, for which they found that information accessed from LinkedIn. Whoops. Okay, so they got credentials, they're in, so eventually they inject the ransomware to the servers. They couldn't hack the slot machine servers though, all according to the hacker group itself, so they relied on the backup plan. They steal and encrypt MGM's data, including that of customers, and they demand MGM and ransom crypto to release it. That according to Scatter Spider. However, BlackCat denied this, posting later a message denying that it was perpetrated by teenagers in the US and Europe, or that anyone tried to hack the slot machines. So, no Ocean's 13 for y'all, sadly. Regardless, who's telling the truth here? No one knows. None of the media reporting was practically accurate here, to say the least. But the following days will prove chaotic, especially for MGM Resorts. MGM realized, and on that very day, that they reported that there was a cybersecurity issue affecting some of those systems, and they shut them down. Hotel room digital kills didn't work. Slot machines didn't work. Even the websites were taken down temporarily, and the staff had to rely on all reliable pen and paper for every management they did on the resorts and casinos. There were even guests waiting for hours-long lines to get everything done, and MGM didn't help the case back then because on Twitter they were pretty much big with the whole cybersecurity issue thing. They were reassured guests it was working to resolve the issue and that its resorts still were staying open. 10 days later, every service was operational again, although there may be some intermittent issues at MGM Rewards may not be available. Nothing is wrong going on. Keep gambling, grandma, move along. But several weeks later, they spilled the beans. On October 5, they provided the bad news. The hackers were able to access their personal information, including but not limited to names, contact information, gender, date of birth, driver's license, passport, and social security number from some customers before March 2019. MGM didn't even bother to reveal exactly how many users were affected, but claims it is providing free credit monitoring services to them, which is usually standard when some company cannot handle properly the security of their customers' personal information. Nobody knows if MGM is telling the truth at all, or nor if Scatter Spider or BlackCat, or either way, even the mass media reporting cannot be always true. But one thing is certain: by cheapening and outsourcing the security of their customers' personal information for maximum profit, they gamble and endanger their customer security. So in the end, the customers are the only ones getting punished for the MGM's leadership and management's mistakes, innocent by standards, mind you. And if a company cannot be trusted on your personal information as a customer because they gamble that much and such, who can you blame? The hacker groups or perhaps the executives? A tale as old as capitalism. And until we can figure out, good night and stay safe.